As a reminder, this is a best of 5, not a best of 3 grand finals, and you in the chat will soon be able to place your bets on who you think is going to be this week's champion. Is it going to be the best Zerg in Korea or the best Protoss in Korea, as these two titans will clash? Let us go. You have 2 minutes upon hearing this message to place your bets, and spawning in the bottom right-hand corner of Dragon Scales, we have the South Korean Zerg player representing CranKy Gaming. It is Dark. And spawning in the top left-hand corner of Dragon Scales, we have his opponents, we have his teammate, also representing CranKy Gaming, the best Protoss in the world. It is herO. Again, these two have been playing against each other very frequently over the past month, week after week after week, whether it's ESL Open Cup Asia, ESL Open Cup Americas, KSL as well, Kung Fu Cup. I mean, they're the best, so it doesn't matter where they end up in the bracket. More often than not, they will face off against each other, and they go back and forth in series. Bear that in mind when it comes to... Oh my god. That's fine. We have a hatch gas pool. But bear that in mind when it comes to placing your bets and your predictions. Both herO and Dark, it's not like one is dominant over the other. Usually it's who is feeling better on the day. Who is feeling on point on the day for them to take the entire series. Very rarely is it a 3-0 in favor of anyone. It's usually a longer series as well. Some weeks it's herO. Some weeks it's Dark, you know. It's yeah, it's always really good to have that kind of competitive nature between these two players, and the matches themselves are always very entertaining. Oh, let's go. Vámonos, papi, vámonos. As we have a hatch gas pool opening here from Dark, everything's looking quite standard, and oh, never mind. This was not quite what I expected. I believe, yeah, the reason why I freaked out earlier, this hatchery was a little bit delayed, I'm pretty sure, and we were able to get some really fast link speed here. Link speed already on the way. We do pull out immediately as soon as we get 100 gas, as close as possible. And with this, Dark is going to have some map control, is going to have some map presence here with his lanes. Meanwhile, across the map, herO is going for a Stargate opener. So from herO, we do have a standard opener. Dark, of course, with this faster link speed, he can harass a little bit. He can also shut down these adepts very early on as well. And I think this is a really smart way to play against herO. We saw against Scarlet how aggressive and how tenacious herO can be with his adepts and with his oracles. So you have to take it seriously. You have to try to shut it down before it gets too out of hand. Already 2 links do dip in for a scout, but one adept was waiting on the ramp to deny any kind of scout, and Dark is denied the scout with his first 2 lings, but his next 4 lings will get in. Oh, they want to try and catch this adept, sorry, this stalker, but no, herO was too quick. He does pull back in time. Nice positioning here from herO. He avoids disaster, but link speed kicks in, and Dark will get a full scout with his lings. Does confirm the Stargate, does confirm the Oracle first. Oh, and even gets 1 probe. Up. Ooh, gets 2 probes as well. Oh my god. Link speed here really paying off for Dark, not just getting scouting information, but also getting some economic damage, and also forcing the adept to stay at home. Finally, the adepts can move out. Finally, they have the freedom to do so, but back at home, Dark is getting ready with his spores, with his queens. I love this as well. Spore at the natural and the main base as well. He's not cutting corners because he knows how serious he has to take these oracles. Before that happens, though, the oracle does dip in and get 3 drone kills. Nicely done by herO. Able to deal damage before the spore does finish. Meanwhile, the 2 adepts are looking to threaten the shade into the main base. Lings are here back at home with their link speed. Gonna be looking to keep up here with the adepts to force a cancel on the shade. The adepts try to make their way into the natural as well, and they're going to be able to get some drones. Looks like maybe 3 in total. 3 drones go down. Not too bad. Now that first oracle is joined by the second, and we have that one-shot potential. We're going to be able to pick off as many drones as possible here in the main base as well. 7 in total after we add up the workers killed by the adepts. So again, herO, even amongst the best Zerg players in the world, can find damage. That's just how good he is with his unit control. The Adepts are still alive, but Dark is trying to hunt them down. He is looking for them, but as he splits up his Lings, and with the Oracle positioning, he does get eyes on the Adepts and will be able to shut them down here in the middle of the map. Across the map, herO is going for his own expansion, as actually only one Adept goes down. herO doing the best he can to keep these Adepts alive. You love to see it. Dark behind this is going for an Evo Chamber. He's going for +1 melee. Pretty standard follow-up, to be honest, from our Zerg players in ZvP. To prioritize +2 melee, to prioritize that one-shot bailing potential that they have. Meanwhile, we have some stasis traps in the main base as well. Do we have a reaction? We do! Only gets one drone in the end. And even though herO has killed 10 workers so far, it's only been 10 workers. Like, we've seen herO do far more damage against other players, so Dark has been able to keep up for the most part with the aggression. Adepts looking to try and clean up whatever creep they can. They threaten to shade into the natural, but the Lings do follow. Don't commit. And because of all this aggression from herO, Dark hasn't been able to be across the map. herO has been able to safely take his third base, saturate it, transitioning into +1 and Blink Stalkers. As he to manage to shade out in time, herO even taking a fast fourth as well. This is what's scary about herO, is that he can expand as quickly as a Zerg player. Dark getting his own fourth at the same time as herO's. The economic situation still looking neck and neck, which is of course in favor of herO as well. But Dark has got a lot of Ling main. Well, he's got a lot of Lings. And he has that Baneliness. +1 melee is about to kick in. Dark is looking to try and deal some equalizing damage. The Stalkers have been spotted outside the natural. We want to try to avoid them. Lings are trying to avoid the Adept shades as well, as herO is going to be moving out, and Dark is going to have to respect this, actually. He's not, though. He's going for a run-by instead. The wall's on the wall! Oh my god, herO has nothing here. And the Lings, they get into the natural, they get into the main base. herO is defending his fourth, but what about his main and his natural? Ay, ay, ay. Dark may have lost 10 workers throughout this game, but he's doing more than enough damage across the map. 20 probes going down at the same time as reinforcements are going to be hitting the fourth base as well. He is all over this. In the blink of an eye, everything is on fire for herO. Lings are cleaned up at the third base. They're finally being cleaned up in the main bases of herO as well, but that is a kill, not a cancel on the fourth of herO. He is being pulled apart. 25 probes going down, and herO is forced to counterattack. No way to reinforce. He doesn't have a proxy pylon. Oh no, never mind. He does have a proxy pylon now being set up here outside the base. herO is all in. He has to end the game with what he has, or trade efficiently, but the Lings get a mass surround again. We have +1 melee. The Queens come in to support as well. We have the Oracles, but they're a little bit too late. Oh, nice target firing by Dark. He does get one of those Oracles as well. Banelings do find the connections with the Zealots, but herO is coming in from behind. This is still looking quite close. herO is gaining ground. Oof. Queens falling left and right. This fourth hatchery of Dark is being broken. And herO is ahead in army supply. Again, his economy is in shambles right now. herO has not been probing whatsoever. He's making nothing but army. He's hyper-focused on this all-in. Banelings are going to roll on in as well. They will find the connections on the Zealots. It is what they need. But the blink control from herO is still going to make this close. Still trading so well, picking off the Queens left and right. Oh god, herO gaining ground, but Dark just needs a little bit more time for reinforcements. He needs the Lings, Poppy. He needs the Lings. Oh. herO, he breaks the fourth. He's headed towards the third base as well. He's trying to break into the natural. We have 2 more Banelings being morphed in. But the Banelings are not going to be enough. The Lings, the boys are being pulled. We're going to have a full surround here from Dark. The Lings, where are they? They were tied up at the natural. The Zealots, they come in just in time. And I think herO's doing it. I think he's barely doing it. These Banelings will finish. Oh god, but we don't really have too much momentum here from Dark. The Lings are trickling in. The Queens have been falling left and right. We have more warp-ins from herO. He doesn't need a fourth. He doesn't need workers. Speaking of, the boys are being pulled for Dark. But I think it's too much. I can't believe it. I can't believe it. Things are looking so good for Dark. He forced herO all in, but mate, he can control units like no other. The splits, Papi. Oh, can Dark hold? He's trying, Papi. He's getting on top of the Stalkers. The Stalkers are going down. They're running out of juice. They're running out of shields. Wow, Dark barely is cleaning this up. Barely. It's so close. We're down to only Zealots. But you know what? Can herO macro from this point is the question. Zealots coming on in, cleaning up all of these things. The Banelings, they find the connections, and it looks like these Zealots will be shut down. Oh, Dark, 3 bases down to 33 workers. herO, 3 bases up to 35 probes. And it's not like Dark has any amazing tech behind this either. I mean, he has an infestation pit, to be fair, I guess. If the game goes on a little bit longer, we do have some splits coming in from herO, though. More Banelings roll in from Dark. It's so important that he keeps morphing in those Banelings. Finally, he cleans up the army. herO just doesn't stop, mate. He doesn't stop. He doesn't slow down. He has no chill. Ah! Oh god, he's going to be denying it. 2 of those Banelings, but 2 more finish up. It looks like we have enough Lings. More than enough Lings. Not just to defend, but also to have enough for the next wave. And herO's making probes. He's transitioning back at home. The game may reset. It's possible. But what's important to take note of is that with the amount of lane bane that we have, Dark isn't just going to shut down these Zealots, he's going to counterattack as well. And herO is not going to have enough to defend at home. GG gets called. And Dark barely holds on. He barely defends the all-in and takes game 1. But that was close. That was very close. Oh my god. And only herO can make it that close. That was stressful, Papi. Oh, that was so stressful. GG. Ay, ay, ay. Why didn't he macro out? herO was making probes back at home, but the way that macro works for Protoss, because he just warped in Zealots, I feel like herO would have lost his 3rd base to the Lingbane counterattack. I don't know if, I mean, herO had 1 shield battery and an overcharge at his 3rd. It would have been close, but herO didn't like his chances defending against the Lingbane counterattack, defending his 3rd at least. It would have been tight, and it's possible maybe herO would have been able to do it. Maybe. It's hard to say. As Dark takes game 1 and we're moving on to game number 2. Ay, ay, ay. GG. GG, well played. I see in the chat. This is like a training stage with those Zealots. It is, mate, it is. It's like, make sure your injects are perfect. Make sure you're always whooping in Banelings as well. That was intense, Papi. That was intense. Ugh. Ooh. GG. And now we're getting ready for game 2. Game 2 is going to be played out on Babylon between herO and Dark. Let's see how this goes. It was just hard to understand that your opponent lost his drones. True, that as well. herO obviously didn't know that he was ahead in the worker count as well. He didn't know the economic situation of Dark. How many drones he had lost over the course of that fight, over the course of pulling the boys constantly, time and time again. And here we go. Now we're getting into game number 2. herO would be so mad. I mean, maybe herO with a capital H. herO with a lowercase h. He's a lot more carefree. That's what's scary about him. That's why he has the nickname, the Smiling Assassin. But spawning in the bottom right-hand corner of Babylon, we have the South Korean Zerg player representing CranKy Z Gaming, taking game number 1. It is Dark. and spawning. With the top left-hand corner, in the top left-hand corner of Babylon, we have his opponents. We have the South Korean Protoss player, the best Protoss in the entire world, also representing CranKy Gaming. It is herO. Let's go, puppy. Let's go. Oh, and after a really intense game one, we're going to be winding things down a little bit here as we have a hatch gas pool set up from Dark. Likewise, standard opener from herO as well. Ooh, we're going to be chilling, mate. We're going to be chilling. Vámonos, papi, vámonos. As we are going to be getting into this game. And yeah, I mean, I feel like game one really showed us a lot about our two players here. Dark more than willing to just be hyper aggressive and risk it all. So in a way lucky as well that herO didn't have anything to wall off his natural base whatsoever and kind of force all that the chaotic scenario to ensue. Likewise, herO on the drop of a dime is willing to be aggressive as well. That's what I love about seeing these two face off. They're both very like-minded. They have very similar play styles. They're both very fluid in how they play and hyper-aggressive as well. Makes sense that they're on the same team. It does make plenty of sense. Makes sense. And yeah, I imagine herO we're going to be seeing another Stargate open from him as well. We have seen him play around with the Twilight Council openers, especially against Scarlet earlier in the broadcast. But we'll see what herO has in store for us here, as we do have that Warp Gate on the way. Is spotted by Dark. Is confirmed. Meanwhile, oh my god, herO's being very annoying here. He goes for the double pylon block on the natural base of Dark, and this is what I'm talking about. He's crazy. The Adept is going to show up here to try and save and hold on to this pylon. We'll see if he can. This is wild. The pylon will finish. The Adept also is going to be able to get a kill on that drone as well. Going to force a massive delay here for Dark. Only herO, mate. Only herO. The second Adept is going to show up as well. A lot of the Lings are distracted here at the natural. That means that the Adept can ease in towards that mineral line. But the Lings do make it here just in time. Meanwhile, back at home, herO is going for a much more aggressive follow-up. Twilight Council, not a Stargate. 2 more gates behind this as well. 3 gates in total for the time being. We have pulled out of gas, so this should be for Glaive Adepts. There we go, Glaives is on the way, but how committed is herO going to be? Are we going to see 3, 4, or even 6 gateways? Before that happens, we have a massive Ling counterattack force field just in time to save that Adept. And we do have more gates. Oh my god. Let's go, Papi, let's go. Even recalling those units from one side of the wall back over to the other, just to keep them safe and sound. Being as efficient as possible. So far, 3 gates here. We have our robot for the Prism as well. 3 gates isn't very committed. Behind this, herO can expand. Oh my god, but the Lings do actually manage to get in. Get us around on the Sentry, and this is going to be a very crucial scout here. Dark, he gets into the main, and he sees everything. He gets an eye on not just the opener, but also the amount of gateways that herO has in his main. As Dark is going to be cutting workers pretty early on here. He's got a massive wave of Lings on the way. Now, because it's only 3 gateways, herO should be... Oh, actually, he's not expanding. He takes his 2 gases at his natural. He's going to be staying on 2 bases a little bit longer, and he's going to be going straight into Disruptors. The Bay is on the way. Again, we saw this against Scarlet as well. Where off of a 3-gate Glaive Adept, you can just take your gases at your natural as well and commit to a stronger 2-base timing. Going to be transitioning into Disruptors a lot earlier. And that means that herO isn't going to be that aggressive with these Adepts. Again, he's just going to be applying a little bit of light pressure here, forcing a reaction out of Dark. And he did. Like, Dark cut workers really early on, expecting a bigger commitment here from herO. Here we go. The Adepts are making their way across the map. Ooh, 3 more gates are being thrown down. There's that third being set up from herO. And again, Dark is doing a great job at keeping up with the Adepts and with the Prism. Like, the Adepts haven't really been able to do too much. We shouldn't see a commitment. Oh, no, no! Oh, he commits. The Banelings were waiting for him. herO not quite looking, and he is going to lose a lot of Adepts. And that's scary, because that is going to trigger a counterattack. Now that half of the Adepts have been cleaned up, Dark can zoom across the map and deny this third base. There's just not enough forcing him to stay at home. Yeah, and herO's going to have a hard time holding on. He's going to force to cancel. Oh, there we go. Third base is cancelled. We do have disruptors, so herO is safe on 2 bases, but he really wants to expand. Ay, ay, ay. As I do see behind this, Dark taking another base. Now he can be free to drone. Up until this point, he had cut workers for the Ling Bane, but it's paid for itself. He's containing herO to 2 bases. Dark is free now to focus on his economy, to focus on his hatcheries, on his production. Meanwhile, herO back at home is transitioning from disruptors into Colossi, is throwing down 4 more gates. Oh my god. He's basically setting himself up for a 2-base all-in. It's going to be a lot of production available here for herO. Lings do end up catching a lot of these Adepts though. Oh my god, not a good follow-up from herO. Does show up with these disruptors, but Dark is quick to react. Up! Only 2 drones going down. 3 drones in total, not really what we needed, but at least herO keeps the disruptors alive. He can go back in and go for another drop. Meanwhile, the gates are finishing up from herO. He's going to have a very strong army. I love that he also has a lot of sentries as well. So without Ravagers, Dark is going to have a hard time engaging. Even if Dark has a higher army supply, and he doesn't right now, which is a scary thing. Dark has been droning up quite a lot. But even if Dark has a higher army supply, we can cut up the army. We can slice it up with those force fields. Here we go. Dark about to show up here with his Lings. And he's going to realize that, hold up, there's no Nexus here. What's going on? He goes for a massive counterattack as well, but herO is all in with this push. He has to end the game with what he has. And what does he have? He has 2 Disruptors, 2 Colossi, 15 Adepts, and that War Prism to reinforce. Ravagers are just now being morphed in. Novas are going to be going off as well. They're going to be connecting with some of those Ravagers, but you know what? The Lings coming from behind. We have a full surround. Oh, the Colossi, one of them goes down immediately, and this is not what we needed out of herO. We needed better force fields. We needed better positioning as well. The Ling surround was beautiful from Dark. He's running out of steam a little bit here. He's going to be careful not to overextend. A lot of roaches are going down, and the Disruptor survived. That's the important part. The Disruptors did survive. We still have 1 Colossus barely hanging on to life here as well, saved by that Prism. Dark going to be reinforcing with more roaches, with more Lings. A lot of this next fight is going to come down to the Disruptors. How good are the Novas going to be? And here we go. Dark coming in for another surround. The Banelings, they connect with the sentries. Only 1 force field goes down. The Colossus falls. And herO, he is running out of steam. He's running out of army. He's running out of everything here in this game. Dark shuts this down completely. The only things that survive are the Disruptors. Which is nice. It's not bad, but ay ay ay. Nova's going off, only killing 1 queen. We do see Dark going for a counterattack as well. He has the freedom to do so. And from here, Dark can even drone. He doesn't have to go for his own counterattack. He can drone, he can saturate his 4th, he can tech up if he wanted to, go up to a Hive, go up to Vipers. But no, it's Dark we're talking about. He wants to end the game. Decent Nova takes down a Ravager and a Roach, but the splits are just too damn good. The Banelings are rolling on in as well. We have a force field, but the Banelings get in anyway. Ooh. Connecting on those High Templar. Thankfully they survive, barely morphing into those Archons. But the wall will soon no longer be a wall. The Banelings are waddling into the mineral line. herO has to respect it. from here. herO, he barely holds on, but Dark, he's got more reinforcements where that came from. He's just holding on to that Z key, holding on to that R key. He just wants to force the end of the game. The Cyber Core is about to go down. Another Nova goes up, only connecting with 2 more Roaches. Oh, 3 Roaches that time. Like, over time, these Disruptors have gotten a lot of value, don't get me wrong, but it's only the Disruptors. And GG gets called. Dark takes game number 2. Taking a massive lead in this series, and now 1 game away from becoming this week's KSL champion. Oh. Only 1 more. And again, a lot of this snowballed because of the initial adept harass of herO. If you recall, herO lost far too many adepts far too quickly, and as a reminder, it was only a 3-gate opener, so we didn't really have that much production to keep warping in adepts. herO had to be very, very careful with how he controlled his units, and he had to keep them alive for as long as possible. Because we lost so many so early on, and that was that big shade into the Banelings, that triggered Dark to counterattack, to deny the 3rd, and to contain herO, and to force the 2-base all in. Oh. So, yeah, herO slipping up a little bit initially, Dark capitalizing on it very quickly. And now, we're getting into game number 3. And this is crazy because very rarely, I was talking about this earlier, we see these two face off week after week after week, multiple times a week as well, in all these weekly tournaments, ESL Americas, ESL Open Cup Asia, KSL, Kung Fu Cup, but very rarely do we see a 3-0. And Dark, he's 1 game away from making that fantasy into a reality. Let's go, Bobby, let's go. And spawning in the top right-hand corner of Royal Blood, we have the best Zerg player in all of South Korea, leading the series 2-0, 1 game away from becoming this week's KSL champion. Representing CranKy Z Gaming, it is Dark. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Royal Blood, we have his opponent, we have the South Korean Protoss, representing CranKy Z Gaming. Down in the series 0-2, he needs to win this game and every single game thereafter to take the series and force the reverse sweep. It is herO. The best Protoss in the world, struggling a little bit here against Dark. Again, I said it earlier, usually it's who is feeling better, who is looking better on the day to determine who takes the series, and yeah, herO making a couple too many mistakes there in game number 2. Can't afford to do that here, not against Dark. If you remember, it all started off with the pylon blocks as well in the natural. It was crazy. Was wild, mate. It's a trap. No, it's herO. Oh, you're all animals. The puns, they're coming out in the chat. Ay, ay, ay. Feels trapped, man. Feels trapped. Hopefully we get him to return as well after his military service. For those wondering, Trap, of course. Likewise, one of the other best Protoss in the world. Currently serving in the military. Oh. herO, of course, coming back from the military. In form, in style, quickly rising to the top. The ex-military player. But, yeah, we'll see if he can rise once again here in this series. The pressure is on him. The pressure is on me. Here we go. Standard openers. Hatch gas pool from Dark. Likewise, gate expand from herO as well. herO has been mixing things up with Stargates and with Twilight Council, but with the positioning of this pylon, it should be a Stargate. There it is. Stargate has been thrown down. Likewise, Warp Gate was delayed, and I'm sure Dark can take note of that. Even though Dark didn't see the Stargate, he can see how late this Warp Gate has been, so it should be Stargate nonetheless. Here we go. It's also not a sure thing as well. There are some Protoss players, hero's done it as well, where he delays Warp Gate just for like additional adept production, and he does still go for a Twilight Council, so you know, it is something that you have to bear in mind. As across the map, we have our first adept showing up. Gonna be able to get a creep tumor, but no drones. Gonna be able to slow down that creep. We have our first Oracle on the way as well. herO looking to do what he does best, and that is harass with adepts and oracles. You can do it like no other. We'll see if he can pull it off. Once again, he dives on in, doesn't quite get the tumor. It barely survives. Dark is going to be able to spread between his bases. It's beautiful, Buck. It's beautiful. And behind this, again, this is what's so unpredictable about herO. Like, he has so much versatility in his play. I don't think very rarely he does the same thing multiple times in one series. We can see the Lings dip in and they do delay that CC. Nicely done by Dark. But at the same time, there is no Spore here at the triangular third. A couple of drones and Larva get picked off. But herO is following up his first Oracle, not with a second Oracle, but with a Void Ray. With this Void Ray, he's going to be able to clean up these Overlords. He's going to be able to deny vision and keep Dark in the dark. Behind this, wow, very quick transition as well into that Twilight Council and that Forge. Only off of a single Oracle. Oh boy. So yeah, because of that, herO isn't really going to be harassing too much. He's not going to be sending out too many Adepts or Oracles. He's going to be preserving the resources that he would spend on harassing, and he's going to spend that into taking up faster instead. Interesting. Oh. With this, it means Dark is going to be free to drone, and that's exactly what he's doing. He's droning very freely here. His Queen positioning is on point as well. This Oracle, this one lonely Oracle, is having a hard time dealing damage. Oh, no Queen or Spore in the main. So the Oracle is finally going to be able to get some drone kills. At least one, maybe two. Oh, does get two. Confirms the tech, confirms a +1 melee on the way. Behind this herO, throwing down more gateways, throwing down a robo as well. Again, very kind of a very passive style here from herO. Very passive, very defensive. We've seen this before. As he throws out even more tech, we have Charge, we have the Robo, we have a Templar Archives as well on the way to get into Charge on Archon. Again, herO just completely relinquishing map control, just relying on just one Void Ray and one Oracle to keep Dark at bay. But Dark has a Baneling Nest on the way. He's got a swell of Lings as well. Dark is soon about to move out and be the aggressor. And I feel like that's what herO wants. I feel like herO, I say that. No shield batteries at the third. There we go, a shield battery just now starting. I'm a little bit worried that herO is going to be underprepared for this. Here we go, the Lings do move out. This is spotted and confirmed by herO. Does have eyes on them with that Oracle. And they actually come across the Prism as well. So yeah, Dark just going to be setting up here for some multi-prong harassment. We have some Banelings rolling in from the left-hand side. We have Lings trying to threaten and to distract herO outside his natural. Oh, but the Banelings do get caught out by the Void Ray. herO does see, he does know, but the Lings are going to surround. Yo, they get on top of the sentries. The Banelings, no reaction from herO. 8 probes go down. Ooh. Very nicely done. Despite the fact that the Void Ray did see the Baneling run by, herO did not. And despite the fact that herO has been very passive and very defensive in the opener of this mid-game, he sustains a lot of losses. But here we go, he's going for a massive counterattack. He is up to 7 gates. He's got that Prism, he's got Charge, he's got the ability to make Archons as well. He's looking to be in the face of Dark. There we go, there's a lot of pressure, there's a lot of onus on herO right now to deal some equalizing damage, to deal some counter damage. He runs on forward into Banelings. Oh, the Banelings do connect here with the majority of those Zealots, but the Roaches are still coming out, we need them. Lings getting us around on one of those Archons. Dark, he's being forced all the way back to his natural, to his mineral line. But the Roaches are coming out. The Queens are trying to focus down that Prism as well. Oh, is it going to be enough? The Prism barely unsieges it, barely survives, but the Roaches come out in time. Dark shuts down this push. Very nicely handled. Things were looking a little bit scary, but Dark just had to buy time for his Roaches to produce, to come out. And Dark didn't lose any workers. He's fine here on 60 workers. I mean, sure, herO, he does have a surplus of probes, but he's only on 3 bases. He's not mining efficiently at all. He needs a 4th. The 4th now on the way. Again, the macro of herO is insane. His ability to probe up, despite losing so many earlier, despite being hyper aggressive and in the face of Dark, it's really impressive. We have a second Robo, a Bay on the way as well to get into Colossus or Disruptors. Fourth is being taken. And Dark should be using this opportunity to drone, but he's not. He's content here at around 68, 69 workers. Nice. And he's just making nothing but Lingbane Roach Ravager. He's working up towards one big push. Now droning up a little bit more, just a little bit. But still focusing on Lings, on Banelings, on his army. And herO is hurting right now. He does have a decent defensive line, but no high-tech units. He lost a lot of his Archons earlier. And here we go. Dark, he did drone up just a little bit more, just to actually get up to that 69 mark. Nice. Is going for a 5th base, but still just on the cusp of maxing out. Dark working up towards 177 supply. The Void Ray being a nuisance here, forcing the Queens to react. Oh, and I don't know if pushing in is really the wisest choice right now for herO. The Void Ray does go down. We do have a massive Zealot Rambe here towards the left-hand side. The main army is looking to punish and cancel this 5th. And he will. Oh, we have some Novas. Ooh, juicy connections here on the Roaches. But the Disruptors are exposed. Another Nova goes off. Connecting once again on the Roaches. Really good Purification Novas from herO. But his Zealot army was cleaned up. Drones did not go down. Dark, he wants to counterattack right now, but he has to deal with this army instead. Can he split? Up! Once again, he gets us around on these Disruptors. The Novas go up, do connect on the Banelings and the Ravagers. But there's still so much on the ground. Still an efficient trade overall from Dark. I say that, but he doesn't have the best economy right now. herO moving up towards 81 probes. Dark hasn't had the time to really drone in quite some time. If the game goes on longer, things will be looking better and better for herO. Oh my god! He's taking the gold on the other side! Let's go! Oh my god, he's gonna be that much more defensible against Dark. That's crazy! Ay ay ay. Meanwhile, we have some Disruptor harassed across the map. Banelings going for a run by, but they are spotted this time by herO. Oh. He will react, but this is so smart. He has to deal with the high ground, to be fair. He has to deal with the ramp, which is not ideal, but regardless, I'm loving this expansion pattern here from herO. And this is gonna force Dark to react. He cannot let this get up and running. There's no way. Meanwhile, herO pressuring here on the same side that he's expanding, going for another warping of Zealots. Dark stuck at 66 drones for a long time. This is an army to trade, and I don't know if he's been trading well enough. Nova's moving forward. Zealots finding a lot of Roaches here on the left-hand side. Banelings will roll in. 5th base once again going to be killed for Dark. Meanwhile, he's looking to punish this skull base, and we're going to recall. We're going to commit. We're going to try to save this. And it looks like we will. Not enough Banelings. At the same time, we just forced a recall. There was not a wall. Dark, he's getting into the natural once again. He's getting into the main. The 3rd base is exposed. He's pulling herO apart. herO spread too far thin. Too far, too thin, as herO's going for his own counterattack. We're setting up a base trade right now, as herO actually is holding onto his natural. Will lose his 3rd though, and is focusing on his push. We are up to 7 Disruptors. Ay, ay, ay. herO losing 39 workers. Oh my god, Banelings crash into the main. herO's economy is in shambles. He is all in. He's all in with this army, but this army is pretty beefy. He has to end the game with what he has. Banelings roll in, but they crash into Archons. Not ideal. Dark going for a counterattack. He knows he can't fight this. He straight up cannot engage with this many Disruptors and this many Archons. We're base trading. We are base trading instead. 3rd base going to be going down. Zealots doing what they can to trade against these Roaches. But eventually the 4th will fall as well. The gold base being retaken. Or it never fell, actually. It's still alive. We recalled earlier, so we won't have a recall for quite some time. And herO is taking down every single mining base of Dark. Ooh, Nova's going off. So soon, no one is going to be mining. herO is down to 8 probes, and the probes are at his main base, I believe. Likewise, Dark is mining here in his main and his natural, though. He has a better economy right now. He can build, can construct an army, but herO has the higher army supply. He has the more efficient army, and hero's going for the kill. He's going for the natural. I don't think Dark can push in. We have a disruptor defensively back at home. We have force fields. Oh god! The Baneys are rolling in. We're not looking! herO not quite paying attention. There were no force fields. Novas go off. Good Nova. But Dark breaks in. Likewise, herO breaks in. He's going into the main. Zealot's turning back around. The ninja base, the gold base goes down as well. Ay. We recall! We're recalling back home. We bought enough time. We have one. The main base is going to be saved. And we left a couple of Archons across the map to clean up. Did we leave enough, though? This is maybe ideal for Dark. Dark cannot fight the army head-on, but herO just split himself up. We have an exposed Archon. We have 3 Archons in the main. Dark can pick these units off on their own. And that's going to make the main army of herO that much weaker. Oh, but we have disruptors on the high ground. We have a prism to react, to control, to micro. Oh, Dark, he can't abuse this. The prism coming back home was huge. And it looks like herO is going to be putting a point on the board here. This is the last standing army of Dark. Vials not quite connecting. He's being chased down. At the same time, we have Lings in the main base of herO. Dark is going for the elimination. herO has not rebuilt his base. But GG gets called, and herO does take the game. He puts a point on the board and fights back in this series. GG. Let's go. Let's go, Papi. herO will not get 3-0'd. I mentioned it earlier. It's something that very rarely happens, and it almost happened tonight, but not this time. Oh, herO looking for the reverse sweep. Can he do it? Can he pull it off? We're here to find out. And the next game is going to be taking place on Gresvan. So we are loading on in, just making sure all the casters file in as well. Oh, let's go, Papi. Let's go. Is this the beginning? The beginning of the comeback, or the beginning of the end? We'll find out. Oh. He's only down 17 workers. Not anymore. A lot happened, Papi. A lot happened. And here we go, spawning in the top left-hand corner of Gresvan. We have the best Zerg player in South Korea, who is still leading this series 2-1. Still 1 game away from becoming this week's KSL champion. Representing CranKy ZvP, it is Dark. And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner of Gresvan, we have the South Korean Protoss fighting back in that last game, making this a series. Also representing CranKy ZvP, the best Protoss in the world, it is herO. He will not get 3-0'd. Not this time, not this week. Oh, as he just barely gets across the map in time with his probe, does force the unnatural natural out of Dark. Oh. And here even goes to confirm and goes to check. Oh no, Dark gambling a little bit here. He delays his own expansion. He wants the regular base. And he will get it. It is going to be a late natural, but at least it's in the natural location. herO, he comes back in. He was feeling a little bit weirded out about what was happening, and we'll see. Oh, you just You just took a later hatchery. Okay. It's all good, Bobby. It's all good. So you could argue that this is a little bit inefficient from Dark because he delayed his natural for so long. But specifically against herO, I think this is a good move, just because we've seen time and time again herO with his Adept and his Oracle harass pull apart Zerg players. Just pull them apart, especially if they're forced to take these like really weird expansion patterns. So I do think this is a wise choice from Dark. As he very quickly goes for his third base as well, to make up for how late his first hatchery was. So a bit of a wonky opener here from Dark, but like standard nonetheless. like relatively economic, nothing too crazy. Across the map we have a gate expand from herO. We do see the pylon. Sorry, the pylon already thrown down. A Stargate opener coming up from herO as well. This is confirmed by Dark. He can see with his Overlord the lack of Warp Gate on the way. Again, very delayed. More often than not going to be a Stargate. Oh. Yeah, relatively standard all around. Because here is just, you know, poking and prodding with this probe, just making sure he can see the saturation, making sure there's no all-in coming from the side of Dark. As tends to be the case at times. The Adept finally does arrive, but we have Queens in position. We have Lings to chase the Shade as well. 6 Lings here for Dark. herO won't be finding any damage whatsoever. And herO is going to be going for that Oracle first. Remember, last game, herO did go for an Oracle first. He went for a Stargate opener, but he followed it up with a Void Ray and a much faster Twilight Council and Forge follow-up as well. So herO can mix up these Stargate openers. You see them threading a Shade into the main base, but no, they don't quite make it in the end. And yeah, so far the defense from Dark has been pretty damn good so far. He has to be careful. He has to make sure he can connect the creep between his bases soon, because the Oracles are going to be making their way across the map. We see our third base being thrown down for herO, as to be expected. Stargate into third Nexus. We have continued Oracle production, this time no Void Ray. No Void Ray. And now that he's got 2 Oracles, he has that one-shot potential. He's going to be zooming across the map looking for some drone damage. Meanwhile, we have 2 Queens in position at the natural. We have 2 Queens in the main. Spores are on the way. The third is exposed, but there's not a lot of saturation here, so Dark isn't going to be losing too much. There we go. 1 drone going down at the third. Oh, I spoke too soon. 2 drones. As the units that pop out from those eggs do get harassed by those Oracles. So 2 drones, not bad, but again, I'm sure herO is looking for a little bit more damage. As behind this, we have Link Speed. We have +1 melee as well, as to be expected. Pretty standard follow-up here in the ZvP. And herO, once again, is not going to be going into Blink. Interesting. He did this earlier in this series. If you recall, it was on Babylon. But he's going to be going into Charge and +1 instead. Let's go. Oh, he did it last game as well, to be honest. To be fair. So yeah, this can do quite well against the more Ling-heavy style that Zerg players have been becoming a little bit more accustomed to. It does require a lot of attention, of course, because Banelings can still clean up those Zealots, but the Archons do add pack a massive punch, and they do kind of change the dynamic of how the armies react to each other. As Dark is going to be throwing down his Baneling nest here, hidden in his main base. He's cutting workers at 48. He's sending his Queens across the map. He's going for a Bane Bust. He's looking to end the game here and now. He may be going for a 4th hatchery, but that's just for show. The Oracles, they do spot the Lings. Now herO knows what's happening, but is it too late? He's trying to set up some SimCity. We have a couple of sentries on the way. We have shield batteries on the way at the natural. herO, is getting ready to give up his third. Banelings are being morphed in. Dark is going all in here on his 4 bases technically. Ling's already shelling away, chipping away at that cyber core. Oh, they get us around the sentries. The Oracles are able to keep them alive. They do support with their pulsar beams. The Banelings are rolling on in. Can we get the force fields? Up, we need them. We do have one, but the Banelings are edging on closer. Oh my god, the SimCity is just a little bit too good here. herO, he does wall off. The Banelings, they don't get anywhere near this mineral line. The overcharge is popped. But the Banelings, they're coming back in. We need another force field. Up! Ooh. The Banelings, they find their connections. We did not have another force field available. The Lings are rolling on in, but we still have a lot of Zealots. The Queens, god, they're packing a massive punch, and more Banelings are rolling in. Ah, the feedbacks. It's not going to be enough. It looks like Dark has broken the third. One more sentry. One more sentry is all we needed. The Archons are a little bit too little too late. The third is broken. We do see herO setting up here at the National. And to be fair, even though herO just lost 16 probes, we're even in workers. We are even. herO can still hold at his natural. And Dark can transition after killing the third. Here we go. The Queens are waddling back home. The feedbacks. Let's go. But Dark at home is droning. He's droning. He's making a Roach Warren. He is content. He's satisfied with only killing this third base, but he has to be careful not to lose too much here. Oh my god, the Queens are going down. The Lings as well. This is not a fight that Dark should be taking. Ooh. Dark maybe overextending a little bit here, maybe wanting a little bit more, and this is going to mean that Dark is going to be a little bit vulnerable to a counterattack. Oh, Dark forced to make more Lings, forced to keep herO at home, but herO is going for his own big push. Defensive Roaches are on the way. The Queens were reset, and that's going to be pretty big here. We only have Lings and Mains to defend. The Lings go for a counterattack, but Dark, he realizes that his opponent's all in. He's going for a surround. Lings come in from behind. Banelings are being morphed in as well. This fight is getting really messy, but the Lings get cleaned up by the Archons. The Queens are trying to get on top of this Prism as well, but they just can't. Oh, herO with this counterattack. This may just be too much. Another Queen gets caught out as well off of creep. We have 7 Roaches on the way, but GG gets called. The counterattack is too much, and herO takes game number 4. We're going to the ace match. Oh my god. GG. Dark, with his Ling Bane Queen push, did an amazing job at shutting down the third base. But we saw that, again, he stuck around a little bit too long. He lost a lot of his army there, fighting over gateways that he never even got. Oh. And herO responded with his own 2-base all-in. And with that, we're going to game 5. We're going all the way, mate. We're going all the way. Oh, let's go. herO, so tenacious, mate. So tenacious. To be down 2-0 and bring it back to 2-2. He's got a lot of momentum in this series. Can he pull off the reverse sweep? Or will Dark clean it up here at the end here and take that win to become this week's KSL champion? It could go either way. Again, these are the best Protoss and Zerg players in Korea. Makes sense for them to go to the ace match like this, and this is going to be a wild one. Game 5. Neo Humanity. Oh boy. Oh boy. This can go one of two ways. We can see herO try to slow the game down, or we can see Dark go for another all-in. Let's find out which it is. As we have spawning in the bottom right-hand corner of Neo Humanity, we have the South Korean Zerg player, the best Zerg in all of South Korea, representing CranKy Gaming. For a while now, has been one game away from becoming this week's champion. Can he pull it off here and now in the ace match? It is Dark. And spawning in the top left-hand corner, the man who refuses to die. He was down 2-0 at the start of this series, and he's brought it all the way back to the ace match. Can he keep going? Can he go all the way and pull off the reverse sweep? We have the best Protoss in the world, representing CranKy Gaming. It is herO. Oh my god. Ay, ay, ay. Well, the first 2 games as good as the last 2 they were. They were, Papi. They were. Any cheeses? Quote unquote cheese. We've had some solid 2-base all-ins all around. We've had some base trades as well. Have we had some standard macro play? No. Not really. Well, as standard and as macro as we can get here, as both players have just been hyper aggressive. No late game play is what I should say. No late game. But that's kind of what we expect here between these two players. They can late game if they want to, of course, but they both, like, their innate personalities, you know, within them, their primal instincts, they tell them to ape, and they do. They do, Papi, they do. It's beautiful. Oh. And that's what leads to these really explosive back and forth series. It's always a lot of fun. Always a lot of fun to cast Dark and herO. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. And yeah, we'll see how this goes as Dark is able to take his natural. You love to see it. Hatch gas pool from Dark. Oh, never mind, actually. Sorry, my apologies. We saw this earlier in the series, and it makes sense here again. He actually took an earlier gas geyser instead. I was a little bit distracted by, you know, regaling the tales and the stories of this series so far. But it was a faster gas here from Dark. This means that, of course, this is going to mean a faster Ling speed. So Dark is going to have map control early on. Doesn't mean that he's going to Ling flood or anything like that. I believe it was a gas pool hatch opener overall. But it does mean that he's going to have an easier time dealing with these adepts. Meanwhile, here on the other side of the map is going for the Stargate opener instead. And we've seen a lot from this, and oh my god, he's not going for an Oracle first, Papi. He's going for a Phoenix. Okay. Interesting, interesting. Again, this is why herO is so wild. He just mixes it up. He's crazy, Papi, and he's so good at it as well. So he's going Phoenix first, only a singular Phoenix, but this will be getting map control. This will be cleaning up Overlords in the middle of the map. And taking away that map vision of Dark. Behind this, it's only a single Phoenix into an Oracle, so we're not diverting too hard from standard play. It's just a way to, again, just get an earlier advantage here by shutting down these Overlords. As one Overlord's going to be going down, the second Overlord across the map is going to be going down as well, and Dark is forced to bring back all of his Overlords. Thankfully, the spotter across the map from Dark is going to be able to confirm the follow-up Oracle coming out from herO. So there we go. As soon as he sees that, immediately spores are being thrown down. One spore at the third. Queens, we have 2 queens at the natural, and we have 2 queens in the main, soon to be 3 in both. So we should have plenty of anti-air to deal with that Oracle. As we have 2 Oracles and that Phoenix going across the map. Now, the other added benefit here of the Phoenix is that we can fight queens. This Phoenix can CC and lift up a queen, and the Oracles can go to town. So there's a little bit more danger here as well. Speaking of, here we go. The queen does get lifted, and the Oracles, they just go straight for the middle line. But there are so many queens in position. Oh, herO underestimating the positioning here of Dark, and he loses his first Oracle. Does get 5 drones. Oh, and he's going to get more here in the main, actually. Now, does that make it worth it? 8 drones here for 1 Oracle. That's not a bad trade for herO, but that second Oracle did take a lot of hits, so it's unlikely for it to deal too much more damage here. Great positioning by Dark overall. Was punished a little bit for not having a spore here at his natural. Or his main. So again, was cutting some corners and did lose additional workers as a result. Meanwhile, behind this, herO once again going into, not into Blink, but into +1 and charge, into Charge Archon. We've seen this composition rise in popularity these past couple of months. Basically this entire year of StarCraft. You love to see it. Oh. And after all that aggression, herO is going to be able to safely saturate this third base. Nice and sound. Back at home, Dark is going into +1 melee, is going to Roaches, nothing too fancy here. Roach, Rav, Ling Bane should be the composition of Dark. It's what we've been seeing game after game. For good reason. Dark taking his own 4th hatchery here, just spreading his creep, connecting all of his bases here back at home. Unfortunately, he's having a hard time getting too much map vision, but he does have control of the Xel'Nagas, at least, despite the fact that there is a Phoenix out there on the map. Oh, an interesting choice here. So herO, upon getting his Templar Archives, he's going for an Archon drop. Not a follow-up we see too often here. It is a later Archon drop, but because it's late, it is also unexpected. So we'll see how much damage he can get done here. Should be safe and sound to just pick off a couple of units. Oh, and he goes for a massive warp of Zealots behind this. Oh my god. He's transitioning. We have a bay for Disruptors, but before that happens, the Zealots have arrived. The 4th base is going to be under threat. The Queens body blocking the Lings a little bit, and we were not ready for this. We don't have Banelings or Roaches in position. The Lings are coming back home, but this is doing a lot of damage. Very unexpected push here from herO. Zealots, they come in from behind. Sorry, Lings coming from behind, but they get cleaned up, and this is getting out of hand. The Queens are falling left and right. The Archons, they're out of control. Finally, the Roaches come out in time to push these back. Ooh, bit of miscontrol there from herO. He does allow one of those Archons to go down, but he killed a hatchery. And that makes this worth it, because if we look at the units tab, we killed 7 Queens, 5 Roaches, and a hatchery for 9 Zealots. A very efficient trade. 9 Zealots and an Archon, to be fair. And that was a mistake of herO to lose an Archon, but he got so much value here. Well worth it, well worth it. I mean, sure, it could have been better. Could have saved both Archons, but still a solid push there from herO. Oh, Dark having to recover. We do have Roach speed finishing up, so we can go for a Roach counterattack. We do have a Stasis at the 3rd, but nice target firing. Does get focused down. Oh, herO has the momentum. He has the map control. He has the economy behind it as well. But Dark has quite a large Roach army. He's going to be focusing here on his Ling Roach production. This is scouted by the revelation, by the drop of herO, as he does get eyes and he confirms the 4th base location. I'm sure he wants some of these drones. He wants them, Papi. He wants them. As he dips in towards the main, we do have the Novas going off as well. They do get 1 Queen, but only a single Queen, as we even invested into Prism speed. The Oracle dipping in for some more damage. Finally, at the 8-minute mark, Dark's like, you know what? I'll get a Spore. You know what? I should probably get a Spore here in my main. Well worth it. Love to see it. Oh. As back at home, that army from herO is just getting larger and larger. More Zealots, more Archons, more Disruptors coming out as well. What's important is that the Disruptors did just reveal themselves to Dark, but he's not really set up to go into a hive. He's still just stuck on Lingbane Road Ravager. He can take a really efficient fight here out on the map. He can go for a surround, but before that happens, he's going to be pushing in the Lings. They do get a surround on all these Archons. Nova's going to be zoning away these Roaches, but this is a good trade. Look at how many Archons go down. Ay, ay, ay. herO with his army split up. The Zealots, though, are gaining some ground here in towards the natural, but now that the Archon count has been reset, it's going to be that much easier for Dark to deal with. But the Zealots are actually going to cover the Roaches. The Zealots, they're going crazy. Oh my god. Who needs Archons? Who needs them? Not herO. The Novas go off, connecting once again on these Roaches. A lot of them surviving, barely pulling out. And the 4th base once again goes down. Oh, can we get the target firing? 1 Disruptor does get picked off towards the end. Another Archon as well. herO has been very wasteful with his Archons. Even with some of his Disruptors as well. So even though herO did kill a base, and he did trade well against the Roaches, that was an expensive trade. herO lost a lot there. Looking at the units lost tab here, 6 Archons. Well, 5, because he lost 1 earlier. Dark, though, doesn't have the best economy. If he was able to hold on to his hatchery and hold on to his drones, then he would be in a good position, but because his production has been hit time and time again, and because his worker count isn't looking too high, then herO, he can still afford some of these more inefficient trades. Or more costly fights, I should say. So here we go, the armies are getting distracted by this Prism. We do see herO taking a 5th base behind this. We have a Sky Toss transition as well. We have +1 air attack, we have a 2nd Stargate, and a Fleet Beacon. herO is looking to take to the skies. Now, he's going to be a little bit vulnerable. He starts his carrier production, but before that happens, Dark is looking to max out on Lingbane Road Ravager. And this is going to be a super maxed army because Dark doesn't have a lot of workers. He's only got 69 drones. Nice. But he's only got 69 drones, so he doesn't have the ideal worker count for a longer game, but he doesn't intend for the game to go on longer. Here we go. We're pushing through the middle of the map. Dark wants to end the game here and now with this massive army. And herO maybe getting caught out here in the middle of transitioning into Skytoss. We'll see. Let's look at the army. We have 3 Archons. That's not a lot of Archons. We have 17 Zealots, decent chunk of Zealots, and 6 Disruptors. It's all going to be about those Novas. Meanwhile, Zealot Harass picking up more workers, and what's important is that this scouts the army. Not just that, this is keeping Dark busy at home. Like, I'm sure Dark wants to make something happen with this massive Roach army, and he's stuck defending against 4 Zealots. Aye. This is a massive thorn in Dark's side. He wants to move out. He's moving out now, kind of, but these Zealots are once again just trading so well. The control, the micro of herO is insane. Finally, Dark moves out, but the first carriers are almost done. Banelings are rolling in though. Disruptors weren't quite ready for this. Novas with some decent connections, but the Banelings, they find the connections in the natural. At the same time, another Baneling run by, but it does get shut down here towards the left-hand side. I think Dark waited too long though. He's getting on top of the Disruptors, which is nice. Lings coming in on the left-hand side, but the carriers are arriving. We have more Banelings detonating here in the main base. 22 probes full. Very nice damage. But we need a transition, and I don't think Dark has really seen what's happening. Lings going for another round back here on the left-hand side. Roach is pushing on in. The Cyber Core goes down. But the carriers reveal themselves. Oh my god, the Novas are insane. GG gets called. And herO, he does it here. He pulls off the reverse sweep. He was down 0-2, but he wins 3 games in a row, and he will be this week's KSL champion. GG, well played. Aye. Congratulations to herO. Just Dark was working towards this super max Roach Ravager army. He wanted to end the game with that. By the time he moved out, there were already carriers. It took a little bit too long. On top of that, we saw how well those Disruptors were trading against the ground army of Dark. He was harassing quite well. Like, he was dealing some economic damage, but he needed more than just to kill probes. He needed more than that, especially on Neo Humanity, the smallest map in the map pool, the shortest rush distance. Those carriers, it would take merely seconds to counterattack and move out across the map. Just the nature of Neo Humanity. Oh, and GG, well played. Congratulations to herO. Congratulations. Damn. Aye. Oh, he was fine with only 1 Oracle. True, Poppy, true. GG, well played. Very well played in the end. And yeah, with that, that is going to be the end of this week's KSL. Oh, I should fix that. Bam. There we go. That's going to be the end of this week's KSL. A lot of amazing games to be had here. Oh, that's not. Hold on. There we go. A lot of amazing games to be had here. We were able to follow Scarlet earlier on in the day. We saw Scarlet against Firefly. We saw Scarlet against Oriana, as well as her series against herO as well, and that led into the grand finals. I highly recommend checking out the VODs because we had some amazing games. A couple of Smurge games. I guess a little bit of a spoiler, but the way that Scarlet versus herO ended was brutal to watch. It was brutal, but we had some more amazing games nonetheless. So shout out to all the players that participated today. Shout out to the casters. Shout out to Dave Testa and Chicken Man for making this event possible, for hosting and running the Korean StarCraft League. And shout out to the people, the community, the StarCraft community, because KSL is supported by you. !KSL in the chat to get a link to the Patreon where you can support the event yourself. I mentioned it earlier, but KSL has over 100 supporters, 174 patrons already, and you know, we could do with some more. 174 patrons, damn. 4,498 USD a month is invested into this weekly tournament. Not just this weekly, but also Chicken Man and Dave Tesla, they haven't said any details, but they are planning to invest some of the excess money into a big premiere event. I say premiere event, but not a weekly, basically, you know, a big event here to maybe cap the year, or maybe just to have a little bit more frequently. I don't know. Again, there aren't too many details, but a big event is on the horizon under the brand of KSL, so keep a lookout for that. Keep a lookout. And if you want some of the replay packs, these are some amazing games, and if you want to emulate or cast yourself or just watch the POV of herO and Dark and Scarlet and all these amazing players, then you can support this tournament and get the replay packs by being a patron as well. So you do get some added bonuses, some added benefits, other than just investing in the event and making the event as amazing as it is. So yeah, you can take part. You can take part. With that, thank you so much, everyone, for watching. Thank you so much, everyone, for tuning in. If you want some more CranKy Duckling action, if you enjoyed the casting, and if you want some more, not just casting by me, but also myself and some other Ducklings, then we are going to be live in less than 2 hours. In 1 hour and 45 minutes, we're going to be back with Grand Platypus Open with the GPO. You may be wondering, what is the GPO? We know what the KSL is, but what is the GPO? That is a tournament that we host, the CranKy Ducklings. We have our own Patreon. We have our own Patreon set up for our own weekly events, for our own bi-weekly events, and Grand Platypus Open is a regular tournament, but it's region locked to some of the smaller regions, to Oceania, Southeast Asia, China, Taiwan, Hong Kong, and Japan. Basically some of the smaller Asia regions. It does exclude Korea, it excludes Europe, it excludes North America and Latin America as well. So it's a way to kind of support some of the smaller regions in what way we can. And of course, we have our own Patreon set up to support those regions, to support those tournaments specifically, to grow them, ideally to become as big as the KSL, for example, to be able to fund and support not just the Asia region, but we host other events that are region locked to North America and to Latin America as well. So yeah, we're trying to do our part to support some of those other smaller regions. Korea, of course, needs your love and support with the KSL. Some of the other regions do as well. You know, NA, Latin America, Oceania, Southeast Asia, they could do with some love, and that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to do our part, basically, here on the CranKy Duckling. So if you're interested, we have our own ! Patreon in the chat where you can also take part as well. We also provide our own replay packs. We host 3 tournaments, so 3 times the replay packs if you're interested. Otherwise, if you're only interested in our casting, ! Socials in the chat, and follow the CranKy Ducklings everywhere. We have a Twitter, we have a Facebook, we have an Instagram, we have a YouTube channel where all of our VODs are uploaded on a daily basis, and we have a Discord server as well where you can take part in our community. So yeah, if you're interested, you can follow us all over the place. Otherwise, if you just want to tune into the broadcast, follow us here on Twitch, as we do live stream on Twitch on a daily basis, multiple times a day. So yeah, we cast a lot. We cast more than anyone else. I remember it was a nice little feather on my cap. I think it was 2020. I checked the Twitch stats, and we were live. It was 2020 and 2021 as well. We were the StarCraft channel live the most out of any other. We casted more than like Wardy, more than Steadfast. We at least put in the hours. We cast as much as we can, as often as we can. And yeah, we're going to be live once again in less than 2 hours for some more StarCraft, if you're interested. Otherwise, thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for the support. We appreciate it. And we'll see you guys next time. KSL, if you only want some more Korean StarCraft League, it's a weekly tournament. So every single week, we'll have a KSL for you. We'll be live on this channel. It'll be live by Chicken Man, by not just Chicken Man, but also Dave Testa. Nathanius was casting today. Sometimes there's Steadfast, sometimes there's Biomorph, sometimes there's other English casters as well. So plenty of love to spread around, Ooh. With that, thank you so much. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for the support. We'll see you guys in an hour and 45 minutes. Until then, thanks for watching. Ciao. Bye. Bye. I see. Hold on.